Everybody shut up and action! Is Delicious by Dungeon a good anime? It's interesting for sure. I mean, I want to get out of the way. I did start this anime when it started airing, watched one episode, thought it was dumb, and quit it. Probably not my smartest decision. I started watching this again. I was like, okay, I'm working out in the gym now more commonly. What can I do? I don't really feel like listening to music. I mean, time by time, I do like listening to music, but it's a good workout motivator. But I was like, you know what? There are some anime that I want to watch, even though I consider them that the story would be mid to bad after watching the first episode. It's like, if it has a dub, might as well watch it while working out, just put it right there and then just do my lat pull downs, do dumbbells, or whatever workout I'm doing at the moment, but like, I can watch while I work out, you know? And I started doing that with this anime, and oh my god, this anime is actually kind of interesting. It's far better than Mid, which I thought it would be. I thought it was just going to be some boring dungeon movie of people going in a dungeon to eat dungeon monsters, which is a big aspect of this movie. The entire story is about a group that enters a dungeon because one of their party members was eaten by a red dragon, and if they can try and save her in time, if they can try and kill the dragon in time before she's digested, they can save her. That is the plot point of this movie. While at the same time, they're exploring this dungeon to try and conquer the dungeon, which would mean beating the final boss, because if they beat the final boss, they would become the rulers of the long lost kingdom that is lost in the dungeon. So yeah, that is kind of the essence of the story of this party trying to save their party member while at the same time trying to conquer the dungeon, though conquering the dungeon takes the backseat and just is more present so in more of the lore of the dungeon, which is another really interesting backstory behind the dungeon and all the creatures you see there and everything that you see in this entire anime, the motivation behind adventurers wanting to conquer this dungeon, and it just provides a lot of insight. And the key aspect of the topic of Delicious and Dungeon comes from these guys lacking funds to buy food to have enough sustenance to traverse through this dungeon, defeating the monsters and staying not hungry and in a good condition to fight. So since they're low on funds, they decide to eat dungeon monsters instead, and are cooking up dungeon monsters with modern meals, finding them disgusting, finding them delicious, and yada yada yada. It really it feels like it's a really interesting story, especially with the lore of the dungeon and all the characters you find in the dungeon, the mystical mage or whatever it's called, the mad mage I believe it was. Yeah, this anime provides a lot of depth on the inside behind all these characters, and it provides really intriguing storyline that you want to follow and see what happens next, for sure. There are times you get lost, but I feel like that's because I'm not watching episode after episode, and I'm watching like 3 episodes every gym workout, but like, you know, it's still interesting and has you hooked entirely. And each character from the main cast of the party going in the dungeon is quirky in their own right. They're all different species working together to conquer the dungeon while trying to save their common friend. Each character is quirky in their own right. You have people who are disgusted by the idea of eating monsters, but will do so because they really want to save their friend. You have a guy who's obsessed with monsters, knowledge about monsters, and now he's getting obsessed with the idea of eating monsters, thinking every time he's fighting a monster, he's constantly thinking, oh my god, how can I cook this and make a delicious meal? Every time he finds an unedible monster, he's trying to figure out, how can I defeat this in a way where I'm able to eat this? What can I do to eat this? Oh, I'm fighting invisible armor? I can't eat armor. What can I do? Oh my goodness, oh, that's so sad. How is this a monster? I don't understand monsters. And obviously, of course, along the way, they're trying to understand monsters as in their entirety, what they are, their biological processes, yada, yada, yada. It's a much deeper anime than I was initially thought it to be. And that provides a really good story that hooks you. And all I will say is I'm really looking forward to a season 2 for this anime. I am really hooked to this story and I want to know what happens next. Hope season 2 doesn't take too long. This anime was actually a banger. I liked it. I think you should watch it too. Maybe watch it with your workouts. It's not one that drastically needs your attention until the later half of the story at least. But regardless, it's one you can watch while working out and have a good time. Maybe you're doing some errands and watching it, but maybe don't do any errands that require hard focus because you will want to pay attention to this anime for sure. Especially in the second half of the anime. And that is Delicious in Dungeon.